Hi guys, welcome to Tanked Up. I am Ben Nova. I am joined this week by Alex Malpass.
Yeah.
Hello.
Right.
Yeah, good.
Cool.
And we're also joined from across the Atlantic in a land far, far away by Mr. Aadil.
Hello, I am.
Hey, dude.
Today I'm in Quebec City.
What are you doing in Quebec?
Catherine has a course and a conference, and
nice.
so two of her colleagues, and her and I are sharing an Airbnb, which is this lovely apartment with very odd decor. I don't know if you see that lamp.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
No one else can see that lamp. Anybody listening to this has no idea.
It's a weird looking lamp for those who can't see.
It's like reclaimed wood, but in a very aggressive, windy, branchy sort of way.
Swindy, good. Yeah. Right, let's do this. We're doing a slightly shorter episode for everybody today because at the end of the week we've got a couple of guys from Opposable Games coming in to chat to us about their game, which is pretty cool. Mm-hmm. They're a Bristol-based.
Unless their game sucks, we haven't played it.
That's very true. We will be playing it at some point this week. And they'll come around and they'll hate beer. It's like, no, this is a terrible, terrible idea.
Yeah. Well, we can say your game's shit, so that'll be really, really quick.
They're like, okay, thanks, bye. So
that probably won't happen.
No, it definitely won't happen. It definitely won't happen. But for today, we just thought we'd very quickly chat about one game each that we played this week. Drink a couple of beers. We're not going to have a topic because you're getting two podcasts this week.
Yeah, right. So let's, without any further ado, let's take this wild beer sourdough as a random star.
As a really random starter.
So we're getting random beers from Honest Brew at the moment.
Yeah.
For some reason, I think I changed all the preferences to no preferences.
You did.
Instead, it's giving us any old random shit. I don't know if that's good or bad. I should be more up for like random shit. But
yeah.
I like India Pale Ale. I don't want to try all these weird things.
We could just try all the India Pale Ale.
Yeah, I'd be happy with that.
And then try something else.
This is going to be fucking random.
That's exciting. No?
Yeah. Yeah, sort of.
Sort of. It's not always good random. There's definitely two types of random.
It's very cloudy.
It's also extraordinarily pale. That's like lemonade
ridiculous.
pale.
Holy crap, that doesn't even look like beer.
No.
Yeah. Very fizzy.
It really doesn't.
Really carbonated.
That smells weird. Smells weird, looks weird, is weird. That's what they said about Ed Miliband.
Ooh. That's why we're in the position that we're now.
That's actually not far off what... There was a Sun headline, looks weird, sounds weird, is weird.
Really?
Yeah. So that joke isn't even far away from reality.
That's really sad.
I just changed it to smells weird.
Oh dear. Right, this beer.
Smells weird.
See, Aadil is not getting to try these with us today.
No.
Yeah, you'd love this smell. I don't know what. It's.
I think they call it je ne sais quoi where I am right now.
Mm.
I don't know. It's lemony. It's really
lemony,
citrusy.
Yeah, but it is in taste as well. You get a load of lemon in that.
How does...
It's so sour.
I was going to say, if only you could see Alex's face, dear listener.
This may make a good video. Just buy some really, really random beers and just record.
It's dry as fuck.
It's
like
really
as dry as a really dry cider.
So this is really similar to the Buxton beer I had when we chatted last week, Aadil.
Oh yeah.
In terms of it being really sour, really dry, but this is a lot lemony. Whereas that the Buxton raspberry rye was obviously really, really fucking raspberry. But this is on par, sort of. So if you imagine raspberries instead of lemons, you can imagine the beer I had last week.
It's like getting like in my cheeks kind of things. Like it's almost like it makes saliva happen somehow.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, definitely.
It's like, oh shit. I don't know what's going on there. I think if you thought this was cider and you were expecting to have a cider, you'd be like, oh, it's just like a weird
it's a
cider.
really, it's quite sour cider. Yeah.
It tastes way more cidery than beery.
How would it compare to the sour we had together a few weeks back?
It's
Which
better
one
than
was
that.
this?
The black sour? Was it a black sour?
Oh yeah, the black sour.
The-
Is that Buxton as well?
I think it was in the Buxton special.
Yeah.
Wolf something.
Yeah, I think it was.
There's definitely wolves in it.
This is better than that.
This is a lot better than that.
This is growing on me a bit.
It is, yeah. Drinking it quite quickly now. So, as we've ranted for 5 minutes about beer, Aadil, why don't you start us off? Tell us what game you've been playing this week.
I have my annual urge to play MMOs.
Okay.
So I tried Marvel Heroes 2015.
Oh yeah.
And apparently it's in their second anniversary time, so everyone's got ramped up experience and getting free items and shit. Which I have to laugh at a game called Marvel Heroes 2015 having their second anniversary in June of 2015. But I think they changed the name.
Yeah, man, they did. It launched as because I played it as well, and I played it when it first came out, and it launched just as Marvel Heroes, and then they reworked the game quite massively, so it was quite different to what the original release was. So they just decided to. I think it came out about 2 years ago, I suppose, as the original game, but maybe about a year ago as like the revamped version.
Right. So
they just tacked 2015 on to it, I suppose. So they thought, yeah, that year's coming up. Prosperous for us. Yay.
And it's all right. It builds itself as an action RPG. So, but you still have your MMO hotbar. But now you also have left click and right click. Except to move around, you have to left click.
Yeah, that's the thing that I found slightly
it's
awkward. The move and shoot. You're almost standing perfectly still every time you're in.
Well, that's the problem. If you're a ranged character, because I tried the Hulk, and then I tried Scarlet Widow. Scarlet Widow. Black Widow.
Scarlett
Thank you.
Johansson, you're thinking.
Yeah. Same person, right? I swear.
It's fine to think about Scarlett Johansson. It's okay.
Yeah. So Black Widow, and she uses her guns a lot. Okay. But so then if you're shooting and you happen to be a little far out of range, instead of attacking the person, you run 7 steps forward.
Yeah, I did notice that.
And
it's
apparently you hold
isometric, isn't it, in view? It's like Diablo.
Yeah, and you can't move the camera at all, which is really strange to me. So if there's items on top of items and you can move the camera, you could just swivel it so you could then pick up the item, and you just can't. Super weird. So far, it's got a plot, but even the areas, the zones, / the instance zones for quests, for just daily rewards, and for plot are just full of random people, and if you're in the vicinity, you get the credit. Like, everyone has their own experience spawn in their little orbs, and you have to pick them up, but then you just end up, so you could just sort of wander past some fights that someone cleared out everything. You're like, oh, I might as well pick up all this free experience and loot. Because loot seems to spawn just for you as well, to a certain extent, or everyone just ignores a lot of the stuff I pick up.
Yeah, I think loot just spawns for your character, and everybody then has a screen that looks similar to yours, that with loads of stuff that only they can pick up on.
I think it's both, actually, because the chests and stuff you earn, say...
Sorry, the dog just poked her head up. Yeah, come on.
Right in between the headphones. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
It says you can't open the chests in the group hub areas for some reason. Like you have to be in an instant zone, but maybe that's just because they don't want loot in certain areas at all being able to be.
Yeah, it could be.
But it's super weird. So you can kind of just, and there's a whole bunch of events constantly cycling. Like, the rhino is now attacking the construction site that you're trying to do plot in. So stop doing the plot and go attack the rhino. Oh, you got to him.
Like rhino is attacking the construction site.
Yeah, not a rhino. There's a Marvel villain.
Oh, I see. Right.
Yes.
And then the rhino dies on your way to kill him. So now you have to go about halfway across the map back to where you're supposed to be. But then Venom's apparently now attacking the docks, which are right beside the construction site. And it's
I thought it was quite random in the way that it did that as well. But I quite liked having something else to go off and do.
Yeah,
rather than just the sort of the main plot points.
it just seems a little too cluttered. Like there's things constantly happening. The respawns of monsters or mobs, I should say, is super fast.
Yeah.
So you don't really feel like you actually did anything, and then you get an achievement saying you've completed Inferno City or whatever it's called. Second city starts with an I, doesn't really matter. And I'm like, oh, does that mean I did all the full rotation of spawned quests? Because I'm still not done with this zone according to the plot. In the last city, I swear I did killed all the bosses a couple of times, and I didn't get this achievement. I don't know what this achievement means. Does that mean the game's saying stop fucking around in this area? I do not know. And that's it's. I could see how one could play it a lot in a sort of mindless way, but it's. And I, of course, haven't done any real multiplayer, like joining parties or any raids or anything. But it just sort of is like, meh. If I wanted a random diversion action game, there's more better things. More better.
Definitely.
There are more things and they're better.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's fine.
Thanks for that.
Things and there are more.
Yes.
Nice, man. I mean, it probably sounds like something you're not going to go back to.
I may play it a little bit more, but it's probably because I'm in this apartment alone all week. And I don't have, it kind of runs on my MacBook Air.
Nice. Yeah, it's not the most graphically challenging or...
How much was it?
It's free to play, sorry.
Free.
Yeah.
Oh, right, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You get to pick one like Marvel hero as a starting character. And then you can then pay real money for other characters, or you unlock them in certain ways.
Yeah, you get these things called Eternity Splinters, but because it's this
that's right.
magic super week, I manage these things spawn like once or twice a zone kind of thing, like very, very infrequently. But I had 400, and
I found that.
And off the top, and it takes 400 to unlock most characters. But what they've done is there's a whole bunch of characters you can take up to level 10, and then to uncap it between 10 and 60 is what the unlocking does. So you get to pick one character, basically all the characters have a little uncap button. You get one free uncap, so you can try a bunch of characters until level 10, which doesn't take any time at all, probably less than an hour. And then you can just sort of be like, okay, I think I want to play the Hulk all the way or whatever, which is kind of nice. Cool. Although I'm pretty sure the reason I played, according to Steam, 7 hours of this game is because I was just trying a bunch of characters, but then giving up after about 2 levels, being like, okay, that's the feel of this character. What's next?
I suppose it's quite nice that it allows you to be able to go in and play a little bit of everything, so you can get to grips with something, find out what you want to play, find out what you like playing, to then continue to do so, rather than being locked in to sort of one character straight off. Which I think is what they did when I first picked it up. I don't think you could take characters up to a certain level. I may be wrong. I may just not have delved into it.
The one thing is, you have one inventory.
Yeah, that's right.
So I was like, oh, I played a few levels as this guy. I might want to go back, so I should keep his gear that I picked up for him. Oh, I have no space.
Yeah, slight downfalls.
And then, of course,
it's quite a good game. Something to while a little bit of time away on.
Yeah. I'd rather find a friend or two and play something like Titan Quest or Diablo 3 or an actual. It feels very much like a dungeon crawler playstyle wise, but without the benefit of actually feeling like you've crawled the dungeon, because the dungeon's always there and it's the same groups of mobs respawning in pretty much the same place.
Yeah.
So you're like, okay, I killed this guy for 45 seconds. Now he's back. Cool. And I'm talking about every mob, all the little guys. All the bosses die, but then you leave the instance and you can go right back in and kill them again.
Yeah. I suppose it needs that repetitive nature to it as well, though, a little bit. Otherwise, there just wouldn't be enough in the game to do. Which is,
I just feel it feels like other MMOs. I mean, the respawns are a little longer and the zones are a little less crowded with monsters, so you don't notice. Yes, it has to be a grind, but it feels already futile before I've gotten really anywhere in the game.
Yeah. Right, let's move on. It seems like Marvel Heroes is a bit hit and miss.
Yeah. I'm feeling like that's kind of like a 6 out of 10 game.
Yeah, but it's free to play, which is why
okay, that's fine.
you spend.
Doesn't mean you have to play
Bumps,
it.
bumps
No.
it up to 10 for 10 minutes, though, doesn't it? I suppose.
Yeah.
Does it? Maybe.
Perhaps, right. Because the next beer we've got is a big 500ml bottle. We're going to open it now and then chat through the next 2 games while drinking this one. So we've only got 2 beers tonight. First one was the wild beer sourdough, which was nice.
Yeah, well, it was horrible to begin with, and then grew on us a bit towards the end.
I think if we had another couple of bottles, we'd be all right.
Maybe. I'm not sure I want that many of them.
You guys drank them fairly quickly. Was that because it grew on you taste-wise, or were you parched? Or does it
grow on me taste-wise?
It did, but it's almost like wine gums. I mean, you just sort of want another one.
I was sort of thinking it's more like I kind of just wanted to get rid of it.
Okay.
Like, I wasn't really enjoying it that much. There was a nice sort of delicate like core taste, but once you get over the initial like, oh, it's really fucking sour, then you're like, oh yeah, there is that middle bit that's quite nice to it. Like I appreciate that, but then there's a sort of like it's almost salty and like sour, and I just don't know whether I'm just too much of a like beer Luddite or something. I should really just accept that that's what some beers are like, but I'm not sure I'm ready yet for sour. For sours in general. Yeah. Anyway, so now we've got East London Brewery Quadrant Oatmeal Stout. So this is going to be thick as a motherfucker, let's say. Or stout, I suppose.
Yeah, stout.
Is a word that means thick.
When I was trying to describe the stout last week, I used all of the words apart from stout.
It's generally best not to use the thing you're defining in the definition.
Yeah.
But, why not?
Hello, Wilma.
Hello, Wilma.
Yeah,
I'm very interested in the beer. That looks good. It's really dark.
Really, really dark. I mean, it's a stout. So
Yeah.
expect it to be.
But sort of...
Is it a 300 on the whatever scale?
300, 350 on the level of... Yeah, there's fuck all in there at all. It's not even, like... There's no periphery on that.
No,
that's
not at all.
Oh, wow.
remotely see-through whatsoever.
The
I'd say that's like as dark, if not darker, than a Guinness.
It's a little sweet. Quite dry
That's
again.
nice. Yeah.
But that is nice.
It's kind of got a coffee-ish, lingering... Yeah, you'd like this, Aadil.
Sorry.
Keep rubbing it in.
Yeah. So, we're going to drink this. Well, I'm going to drink it, and I'm going to let you, Alex, talk about the game you've played.
So I've been playing Hektor for the last couple of days, which is a bit like Silent Hill's PT that we all got terrified at like a month ago or whatever. So it's a first-person, I guess. I mean, I'm not really sure what the genre is. Like horror game or a thriller game or something. It's like
almost like a suspense horror game.
Yeah. So
An interactive suspense horror game.
There isn't much like pre-game plot or whatever, but it seems like you're definitely in a mental asylum or something, like a disused mental asylum, and I'm thinking that maybe you were a patient there because you have to take pills every now and again. It's not quite clear what taking the pills does, but your vision goes hazy and stuff, and you hear weird voices. Again, it's not clear whether it's because it's haunted or because you're
Psychotic.
Yeah, I really like the idea that if you don't take the pills, the mentalness builds up and it gets more and more sketchy. If that is the game dynamic, it's hard to tell whether that's what it is.
How long?
It's a great idea.
How much time have you put into it? Around?
Maybe only about an hour and a half, maybe.
Okay.
So, I mean, I played it in little bits. I actually spent the first, 20, 25 minutes or something playing it with the curtains drawn in the dark, the dog asleep. I was essentially on my own and playing it, and I was a bit like, I'm just going to stop playing this for a bit. It's freaking me out.
It's well intense.
Yeah, the sound in it is immense. I mean, it's worth getting just for the score, almost. I'm pretty sure it's... I mean, if it's not the same composer, it's somebody doing a very good rip-off of the guy who does the sound for Insidious. So it's all these kind of like a sort of orchestra, like building up volume on a really high pitched note until it gets to this sort of like. I don't know. It's difficult to describe, but it's great. And then I played it for quite a while, sort of wandering around, getting freaked out by noises and picking up random objects and reading bits of paper and stuff, not really knowing. Like, and you turn around and then the background is different to what led you in there, like in PT. And then all of a sudden, some weird-looking thing was suddenly standing in a doorway, and then the music was all sketching me out and stuff, and then it's just like ran towards me, and I tried to make a dash for it to get to a door, but this is my one complaint with the game, is the door opening mechanic isn't great. Like, sometimes you can, like, you sort of have to grab to open the door, but often, like, it'll just, like, lose grip on the door somehow, and like, this was happening when the thing was running to me. I was like, no, open the door! No, don't fail me now, mechanic! So yeah, and then I got horribly mutilated by this thing. So I started again back at the beginning now, which is a little bit irritating. But, yeah.
Oh, is it just it's permadeath?
It is. It seems to be anyway. I don't know whether anything's different this time round, or whether you're supposed to die there. I'm not really taking anything for granted.
Well, I suppose it could be because you haven't, you didn't have enough or find enough pills to take, which meant that your psychosis took in, if that is what it is, or you did something in the level itself to trigger that.
So you have a load of items in your hotbar, and you start with a packet of pills.
Yeah.
And it's assigned to number 3. And I found some pills, and I assigned them to number 4. Like, it wasn't a top-up of my original pills. And I took some of those pills as well. I don't know. Let's see what they do. I'm sure they're good pills. So maybe I fucked up there somewhere. I don't know. I'm happy to play it again.
The wrong pills.
And it's a first person, is it? You say?
Yeah. And you're you essentially wake up in the darkness, and a little like Zippo lighter just sort of scoots out from down the corridor, just like stops right in front of you, and that's like literally all you can see. And then you like reach out and pick it up, and then you have to like left click or something to flick it on, and that's all you've got to illuminate where you're going. So you're walking around just with this tiny little Zippo, and it really doesn't illuminate very much. No. So like you're stood in a dark corridor looking down, and you can sort of see the walls on either side of you, but you can't really see down. So you're constantly just walking into the darkness and opening doors, and I don't know. It's really really
hearing
good.
Voices.
Yeah. It reminded me like of Alien Isolation, and that there's these like you've got to pick up the clues and think about the storyline and stuff.
You've got to achieve something while you're in there as well.
Yeah. So it's a cross between Alien Isolation and Silent Hills. Is that what that game is called?
Yeah, PT. Yeah.
PT is just a trailer for that.
Well, that game doesn't exist.
Well, no. So when PT was released, it was in sort of no way said that was what the game would be like or entail or anything. It was just meant to be an experience put out to promote to promote Silent Hills.
And then
whether that would have had any bearing on the actual game itself, they've not sort of released them because Konami and Kojima and stuff have all fallen out. Yeah. No one will know unless someone else buys it.
Yeah, I think I'll wait for going back home and try Hektor with the Oculus Rift.
Oh, fucking mate, fuck that.
In which case, I should probably like Twitch stream that or something, because I'm sure it's going to be just.
That would be a very good idea, definitely. I mean, even when we were playing PT, just to think about that in a VR headset, I suppose you just get that sense that you just couldn't escape that it was on you and it was there. And I've not used VR before, so I don't know how immersive it is.
It's pretty.
The newest systems are really pull you into it.
The head tracking is so good. Like I played Fear 1 with the Rift, and I like the jump scares and creepiness. It gets you in a way that it didn't. Like what 10 years ago the original playthrough did. It's like proper scary, and that's still a first-person shooter. And I was like, ah! So I suspect there'll be a rash of thriller games in my future, just to experience this new sort of phenomena.
Man, it seems like the perfect sort of genre of game to be in a VR sort of system, definitely.
So just to finish off then, this was a demo that I got for free on Steam, and I thoroughly recommend it. You guys should both play.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Well, if it's a free demo, definitely.
Yeah, for a free demo, I mean, I'm talking like an 8 or 9 for this game. That's great.
Do you think you'll end up buying the full version?
Maybe. I kind of a little bit worried that maybe they've oversold it in the demo. Like, is there going to be that much different in the full game?
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Wilma says yes.
She agrees.
I think she may have found a cat. I may go and stop her killing or whatever that is whilst you
To be
talk about
fair,
your game.
yeah, it is my cat, I imagine, as well.
It is your cat. So I'll be right back.
So I suppose I'll start talking about the game I played whilst Alex saves animals, which is Guacamelee.
Ah, yes.
Which I played on my PS4. It was a free PS Plus game last month, but because The Witcher came out and I didn't have very much time last month to play too many games, Pillars of Eternity also took up a lot of time. I didn't get to play it much. I played it on PS3 before, and it's just such a good game that I thought I'd run through it on the PS4 as well. It's a 2D side-scrolling, or not really side-scrolling. No, it's side-scrolling.
Yeah, it is.
2D side-scrolling platform action. So it's like a Metroidvania type game.
And it's gorgeous. It's really good cell shading.
It is really good cell shading, art style. The music's fantastic. It's basically you're like a Mexican wrestler.
You're a lucha libre, is what they're called.
Lucha libre, that's the word. I knew libre. I couldn't think of the other one. But so you basically go on a quest to save the woman you love from an evil, otherworldly bone guy.
Wait, I've heard that plot before. Oh yeah, in every game I've ever played.
Oh, I'm totally wrong. I'm thinking of they're luchadors and something libre. Nacho Libre is the Jack Black film.
Yeah,
God, that was awful.
I just jumped back in and assumed you were actually talking about that.
No, yeah, that film, the game.
Yeah,
But a lot better.
luchador is the term.
Yeah. So yeah, it's an action platformer. It's really good. It's quite simple in its mechanics, in the different sort of fighting moves that you can do. It's got the added in the idea that you're a wrestler, and once you've beaten up an opponent enough, you can body slam them or pile drive them into the ground and stuff. So it really hams that in, but because it's Mexican wrestling, so the soundtrack is really on point, and it's just trumpets and trombones in the background all the time, just really building epic sort of victory music in some parts, and it's real tongue-in-cheek. It just takes the piss out of itself quite well. The only problem I found when I played it before on the PlayStation 3 was that the difficulty ramps up really hugely at the end. Right. So you learn, as you play through the game, you learn all of these mechanics, sort of double jumping between platforms. There's a mechanic where you are, basically what happens is your character is dead, as such, and you can switch between the living and the dead world. So there's certain platforming elements where, a tile is missing, and you switch between the different worlds to be able to jump onto that tile, and then the next one's missing, so you've got to jump between and switch and do this, and then fight things as you go. And when you get towards the end of the game, some of the sort of jumping puzzles you have to do are ridiculously hard. And I remember on the PlayStation 3 getting really frustrated with it and just putting it down for a while and coming back to it later, but then not have played it within the last sort of couple of weeks to pick them up that quickly, so then you're frustrated again for a little bit of time whilst you get back into the sort of the Twitch reactions you've got to have on some of these platforming levels. So I imagine that is still present in the PlayStation 4 version. I've not played through as far as that to know. But one of the nice things about the PS4 version is they've added a whole new area. So there's a part of the game now that I'd not experienced before in the original the PlayStation 3 version. So suddenly these other characters, there's another boss that you can fight as well. So it does give you a slightly different experience running on you're picking up for a PlayStation 4, even if you have played it on a PlayStation 3. And probably if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you picked it up last month. Something like The Witcher has stolen your time. So give it a go. It's very good. Cool. It looks good. It sounds good. Plays very well.
So all 3 of these games are free?
At some point they have been, yeah. Oh, nice. It seems like a very good thing. Free games are always good. Although, I suppose something like Marble Heroes sort of is free.
Yeah, well, that's
You've got a lot of like little microtransactions and things like that.
yeah.
Well, to be able to pick up characters, you got to drop some real world money on some of them.
I hate that. I don't want to be greased for my cash.
You can grind and get, as Aadil was saying, these eternity splinters to be able to buy characters with as well. So you don't have to drop real world money. You just got to put a shitload of time.
Yeah, but then people are going to drop real world money. And that pisses me off.
Well, but it's a free game. They've got to make money somehow. It just I don't like the trend towards free to play, meaning things are locked away.
Yeah. It's like speedy boarding on EasyJet. It's just like, don't just pay a little bit extra so you can have something that I can't afford. That just annoys me. Like, we've all paid the airfare.
Yeah,
get over it.
It's very true. But you probably all paid different prices depending on when you booked.
That's just because your company.
The joys of making money.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about that.
Neither do I, really. So
I hardly make any money, and it's not any type of joy whatsoever.
Well, apart from paying for beer.
Yeah, I suppose that's true.
Paying for some games that you're happy to pay for.
Yes. So, we've all talked about our games.
We have. I'm really enjoying this beer.
Yeah, me too. It's really nice. I think if we had to vote for a beer right now, it's going to be the Stout, isn't it?
Yeah, the East London Brewery Quadrant Oatmeal Stout.
Oatmeal Stout.
Yeah, that's really good.
So it'll fill you up like a Guinness.
It will, definitely. It's as I said earlier, it's a little bit sweet, but not too much. It's just sort of hidden in the background slightly, just to take away the sort of dry finish of it, I suppose.
And there is a heck of a lot of sediment kicking around in the bottom. Which isn't that much now. Anyway, let me just say before we leave, Super Hexagon. So, haven't said that yet.
I haven't mentioned Super Hexagon for weeks now. That's also a free game that you can play.
Is it free?
Well,
I don't know. Did you?
£2 for it.
No,
it was Hexagon. Sorry,
Hexagon.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Hexagon is free and Super Hexagon.
Hexagon was Terry Kavanagh's original game. That was just the first, basically the hard level of Super Hexagon, and then he released the full game, and that had the 2 extra hardest and harderest and all the other ones.
Yeah.
This is definitely going to be about the 4th time we've conversation on the podcast. Everyone knows about Super Hexagon. Go and play Super Hexagon.
I will also say that free on the PlayStation Plus this month, Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes.
Oh, so it is. And if you haven't played that is fantastic.
For the PS4.
Yeah.
Shit out of luck for those of you who don't have a modern system. Like me. But I already got it on, I think I have it on the PC anyway from a Steam sale, so
nice.
not exactly hurting.
It is a fantastic game. So, that's it for us this week. Next week, or at the weekend at least, in a few days' time, on Friday, we've got Opposable Games in, going to come and chat to us about their game Salvaged. We're going to have a load of beers.
We're going to have a Wiper and True special, I think.
Ooh.
That's the idea.
Yeah.
So that's going to be good.
Giving them the red carpet.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, local
Bristol
developer. What, like £3 a pint?
I mean, half of what me and I don't know.
I haven't even thought about it.
I think standard protocol is you don't charge your guests.
Come on, podcast, chat to us. Give us some motherfucking money.
Yeah.
Where's our promotion in this? We're promoting them. They should pay us. That should be the minimum.
Surely they'll tweet or something. Yeah.
Nice. So we've got that coming for you at the end of this week. That'll be the next episode dropping later. Episode 13.
Lucky number 13.
Bloody hell, 13.
On a Friday. Friday the 13th episode.
Is it Friday the 13th though?
Friday the 13th episode.
Yeah. We can
Friday, the 13th
episode. Well, you already have a title, although I think the developer might want themselves in the title, but I think Friday the 13th episode.
It could be the subtitle.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
We've been Tanked Up.
Enough of this shit.
Where can you get us at tankedup.cast on Twitter? I'm _47 on Twitter as well. Is it tankedup_cast?
Yeah.
Yeah. Aadil is the Omniarch. Alex is forever partying offline.
Yeah.
With his real friends. Real world friends. Right, that's it. Take it easy, guys.
Bye.
Bye.